Law of the bedroom number 60. Learn about contraception, birth control, and take the lead in this area for you and your gal. Here's a quote to open up this topic here. Responsibility is the thing that people dread most of all. Yet, it is the one thing in the world that develops us, gives us manhood and womanhood fibre. Pretty interesting. Responsibility is the thing that people dread the most, yet it is the one thing in the world that develops us, gives us manhood and womanhood fibre. So, I have 2 rules when it comes to contraception for the man. Number 1, learn about it. It is up to you, the man, to become fully educated on all the different methods of birth control available to and for your gal in today's world, as best you can. In Laws of the Bedroom, I'm going to touch on a few. I do not claim to be the expert. I'm not a doctor, and we don't have enough time to go into them all. I'll give you my points of view on them, and then you can do your own research. And again, like I said, the person to go to about this is the gal. Ask her, what have you experienced that you like using the most, or how do you handle this situation? And, y'all can talk about that. So, number 2, if there is an expense for it, offer to pay for it, or at least offer to pay half, if not all, of what it costs for you and for her to use a particular form of contraceptive that she feels most comfortable with. Offer to pay for it. What are we talking about? $60 a month? $100 a month? It's a nice little investment there to help keep things safe, if you know what I'm saying. If men would pay for something which they benefit from, the government wouldn't have to. And you'd be saving the taxpayers a lot of money, if you know what I mean. That's another story altogether. Okay. Guys, let's do our part. That's kind of what I'm getting at. What is an unplanned pregnancy? As if you didn't know. It's a pregnancy that you don't count on or necessarily want at this time in your life or choose to take responsibility for in the early stages of a relationship or resulting from a one-night stand. It is not unusual to experience sexual intimacy when in the company of a woman, whether you are with your girlfriend and in some cases your wife. Passions flare, and before you know it, you're caught up in between the sheets. Not to say that women are irresponsible about birth control per se, but no matter how savvy they are when it comes to contraception, you, guy, should always be prepared, on the lookout, on guard for this whole impregnation and getting a gal pregnant, whether she's your girlfriend, wife, one night stand, something like that, hookup, whatever. It is your responsibility to understand and know how to prevent unwanted pregnancies. And, whether you're married and you already have children, it should be your responsibility to make sure that, hey, honey, let's make sure you don't get pregnant again if you don't want any more kids. And I'm just thinking back to the times before birth control came about, and women were wanting more control of their bodies. They wanted more understanding of reproduction. And hey, God bless them. Oh my God. I mean, women were having like 8 babies. They were having 3 to 5 miscarriages. They were having to feed more mouths because, men wanted to have sex, and women just, they gave in. They wanted sex too, but there wasn't the birth control kind of situation. So big families were being birthed, and hey, it's kind of cool having a lot of kids. But after a while, having kids is an economical decision as well. It's a religious thing, it's a family thing, it's a love thing, but it's economical as well. We can't afford 20 kids, that kind of thing. So, guys, you have to be knowledgeable about this. There are condoms, we know about that. There's the pill for her. There's IUDs and IUS, for pregnancy preventions. There's spermicides, foams, jellies, creams, suppositories. There's the withdrawal method. And you know what the withdrawal method is. Don't kid yourself. If you think you can slide out of her before your hose fires its fuel into her and get away with it, you can't swim faster than sperm does. It's risky. Just one drop of a man's white milk going into her contains over 500,000 potent sperm cells. More than enough to create life because the sperm remains inside her up to 5 days. For example, out of 100 women whose men use this withdrawal method, probably 25 to 30%, maybe even higher, those women will become pregnant if it's not done correctly. Medical science tells us that sperm ends up on the hand or any body part can also impregnate a woman if they continue to play around in these private parts. For example, let's say that, he fires his rocket fuel and he puts it on her chest or on her hand, and she takes her hand and she puts her hand inside her moist valley of cute pink love. Hey man, you got 500,000 potent sperm. That's potential to make her pregnant. Depending on your age of the woman or the man, there can be a decrease in the amount of sperm. Or maybe she can't get pregnant. Maybe she's had her tubes tied. She's had her kids, so she's tied it up. Hey, then that's birth control. This is just a very, very sensitive situation that you need to be knowledgeable of. And it really is taken care of with an open conversation with your gal. And that's why waiting a week or two or a month, just get to know them first. Give her orgasms with your hand. Let her give you hand jobs. Let her, oral sex, other things, but just don't go in her quite yet so fast. Slow down. Earn it. Postpone it. And in that time you're getting to know her, you're making decisions. Well, what do we want to do? What are you comfortable with? And you could have an open discussion. And then you could decide, maybe we'll use the rhythm method, which is a calendar method. This method of birth control uses a woman's menstrual cycle to predict the days that she is the most fertile and could possibly become pregnant. It also determines which days to avoid unprotected sex. This works well for many couples who prefer a more natural way to manage birth control. No chemicals, no needles, no hormones getting pumped into her system, causing her all kinds of side effects and problems. On the other hand, it doesn't really bode well per se for couples that enjoy spontaneity or casual partnerships who engage in random sex. But here's the deal. And this is the overall kind of opinion I have on this matter of birth control. Number one, we want to avoid getting a woman pregnant if we are not married to her or on our way to marrying her or we're not in love with her. We want to avoid pregnancy, number one. Number two, we want to help her avoid any side effects we'll just put it side effects that come from the pill or other hormonal products that she would have to consume or inject. And it's just not good for her body. It's not good for, I'll just say it like that. It's not good for her body. These products that have these hormones that change her body so she can't get pregnant, she can still get pregnant on the pill. She can still get pregnant by some of these methods. And they're not good for her either. So I'm kind of always inquisitive to ask, hey, what have you done, tried, used? What works for you? What have you found best? Oh, the pill made me sick and this and that and whatever, made me depressed. I got off of it and I have my cycle back. So I need to know, what do we want to do in this situation, And I said, well, there's a product out there that comes highly recommended. And there's others that are similar to it. I'm just not a female, so, I don't really know what product would be best for a woman to use per se, but this is a very good product. And this in particular, it's called Lady Comp Baby Fertility Tracker. It's a cycle, computer, natural family planning, very high accuracy from day one. And basically we'll just call it a unit. What these little units do is they track the menstrual cycle of a woman. They tell her specifically with red light, green light, yellow light, when is she most fertile and when she is not. Women do not get pregnant, or they cannot get pregnant every day of the month. Like they're impregnable 24 hours a day. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a certain period of time during the month that they can get pregnant. And outside of that window, you're free to have sex without getting pregnant. And isn't it interesting that guys, but women aren't told this. Women really aren't told about how their bodies work. I guess it's maybe the big corporations. They just want to make money. And also, a woman who knows her body is more in control of her body. And whoever doesn't want a woman to be more in control of her body, well, they should be shot. They should just be kicked off the planet, because this is important stuff. This is life making, stuff. A woman should know exactly when she can get pregnant and when she cannot. Well, that said, these products, you can buy them off Amazon. And like I said, Lady Comp Baby Fertility Tracker, read about it. Check out the ratings. Check out the reviews. See what people say about it. And what I like about this particular product is that this is good for a woman for lots of reasons. And if it helps her to know when she can get pregnant and when she cannot, that's good, because suppose she's trying to get pregnant. Well, she can really now narrow in on the window when she can get pregnant, and she won't waste his life juice, if you know what I'm talking about. And he can build up and build up and build up, and then there's that window, bam, fires the rocket fuel into her pink, little wet, moist, little love hole. And bam, she's pregnant. Oh, yay, hey. But anyhow, good stuff. And all of this stuff really does boil down to communication and talking things out. Again, communication without any boundaries, okay? And no judgment. No, none of that. It's just all open communication, and it's all great. Check out the link in the description for this Lady Comp Baby Fertility Tracker and some other aspects about that. Just do your research on it and talk to her about it. She might say, I thought about getting that, or I have that, I use that, and it works well. Or, I've never heard of that. And still, trust no one, suspect everyone, guys. And I wouldn't want to put too much of the responsibility and burden on her to take care of this per se, but you have to be careful, because we are dealing with a woman who may really want you and wants you faster than you want her, or you're still getting to know her, but she wants you faster and she wants to get, entangled with you. So she'll get pregnant and she won't tell you that, oh, I thought it was, and I guess it was off. Well, I'm pregnant now. So one of the rules of thumb is this: do not have sex with a woman you're not in love with. Do not have sex with a woman you're not in love with, per se. As in, there's a growing relationship. If you got this woman pregnant, is she someone you would marry? Is she someone you would stay with? Yeah. And remember, I talked about earlier, don't be so eager to have sex. Hold your horses. Pull back some. Restrain your own urges. Get to know her. Is she psycho? Is she crazy, bat crazy? Is she high maintenance? Does she complain a lot? Is she a drama queen? In the first 2 weeks of the relationship, the first 30 days, 60 days, there's a lot of fun, physical nakedness you can have fun with. You don't need to, put your stallion in her stable yet. Get to know her. Get to know who she is. She'll actually appreciate that you're not eager to stick it in her. She'll be appreciative of that, big time. She'll actually want it more. So hold off, guys. You've got to protect yourself. You do not know who you're dealing with. And today, in today's world, I'll speak first for the women. Yes, ladies, guys are they're just into themselves. Personally, pleasing, they want sex, they want multiple women. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of men out there like that. But there's also the flip side of the coin. There's also a lot of good men who aren't getting any action, who would be very grateful if they could just have one woman who found them attractive and nice and wanted to spend time with them and maybe foster and grow a relationship and maybe marriage one day and family and kids and everything. There are those men out there, and now I'm going to speak for them. They are on guard and watching out for the crazy women out there who are they have lost their minds. They are so into themselves. You talk about narcissistic behaviors. Women are guilty of that big time. The selfies, the Instagrams, all the different butt shots, and every day, some of these women just flaunting their body parts. Like, why are you doing this? This is like those, in the old days, you would have classifieds in magazines and newspapers where women would showcase their busts and butts for one thing, cash for sex. Now that doesn't go on today, but because the psyche of a woman wants constant recognition and attention and acknowledgments that she's beautiful, she's looking at those likes, she's looking at those followers. A majority of men are not on Instagram. If they are, it's for business, it's for sports, it's for friendships, just kind of, I take pictures, I go out with my friends. I don't know many guys who are taking ass shots and bust shots and, bikini. Hey guys, you got your bikini on? You're wearing your bikini suit, photograph. And hey, kudos to the ladies. You ladies look beautiful. You look ravishing. You look beautiful. It's just sad to say that we've come to this point in society that people just have to kind of constantly show off their bodies and in a way that it's just in your face and it's multiplied by thousands. And that's why some people say, I quit social media and I've been more healthier. I disabled comments. I've been more healthier. Anyhow, open communication, talk to her, look out for her health. Try not to get her to try these products where there's hormones and other stuff injected in her. And, she can still get pregnant on the pill. She might forget to take the pill. Bam, she's pregnant. And that plan B thing, afterwards, really, I know what it's for, but no. Let's try not to even think about having to resort to that thing. You know what I'm saying? Such a delicate thing. But remember, try not to have sex with anyone that you're not in love with. And that love can come about by spending time with them first. A month, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then, wow, if I happen to get you pregnant, I would totally marry you. Because we get along so well. And we could be a great partnership. Good stuff. Hey, I hope that helps. Do your research on this. Talk to the gal that you're with. Or just do a little research so that when you encounter a gal and you're wanting to spend time with her, you can have that kind of discussion. And then y'all make the best decision for what y'all want to do. Good stuff.